So we wanted to show you guys this bicep exercise for a while. It's kind of like a mechanical drop set. Basically, what we want to try and do is use the fact that our muscles get tired in its shortest range quicker than they do in its lengthened range. What does this mean? It basically means when we're going to set up to do a bicep curl, we're going to do single arm, stand myself away so my arm's being stretched out, and I'm just going to curl this in towards me. Keeping my elbow where it is, again, putting the tension onto my hand so as I curl in, it stays, the tension on my bicep stays on my hand like this. You want to try and fatigue that as much as you can, so you want to try and take that almost towards failure, and once you've done that, you're just going to spin yourself round. Once you spin yourself around, take a step forward, and the cables are now going to be behind you. So as you set up, it would look like this. Cables are now going to be pulling from behind you, and we're going to be pulling through. This is because in this movement right here, the tension and the hardest point is in the lengthened position. Arms behind me, my biceps at its most stretched position as I'm pulling through here. When I come around here, now even though our biceps not necessarily our shortest position, our probably best bet would be to put the cable up nice and high for that, but we are still going to be getting an overload in that shortened range as much as we possibly can, so curl it in towards us. And then you're going to turn, simply take a step away, allow your arms to be behind you. Now you don't want your elbow and your upper arm to move. Your upper arm wants to stay still where it is, and you just want to curl up here. To me, this works really nicely towards like an end of a session. Even if you've been doing bicep exercises throughout the whole session, you can put this one in there. You can obviously adjust the weight on the cable. You get reasonably high reps on it. My advice is genuinely go to close to failure as you can with the cable set out in front of you. And then when you turn, you're just going to finish that off. And what you'll find is, like, even if I get close to failure on this one, I'll show you now, we'll go through it. I get as close to failure as I possibly can this way, and then I'll turn. And all this is doing is just taking advantage of the fact that our muscles fatigue in the shortest range before they do in their lengthened range. But as you can see, just by flipping my body around, just by turning around and then overloading that lengthened position, I can now get out another 5, 6 reps on top of when I was at failure in that position. Again, the reason this is really good as well is because we build more muscle in our lengthened range. So when our muscles are most stretched, when we are as lengthened as possible, that's where we're going to build most muscle. Which is why, like, a lot of the advice that we want to try and give when doing any exercise, as you get to the change of direction, so as you get to the kind of bottom of the movement or the top of the movement where you're most stretched, we want to take some time in that position. We really want to kind of like milk it as much as possible, to be honest with you, and then press again, or then curl up, or then do a row, purely because we want to try and spend most time in that lengthened position. Lengthen under load will build muscle. So try that on your next bicep day. It's a single arm variation. My right arm is massive. I'm gonna have to do a left arm now. My name's Charlie. This is How to Body, How to Mind. We'll see you on the next one.